Hey guys, it's Matt for Antihero magazine, and I'm joined here by Martin from the progressive metal band ONI. How are you, my friend?
Good, man. How's it going?
I'm doing very well, thank you for asking.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course, always a pleasure, man. And you're taken to the Sophie Lancaster stage in a couple hours for your set. How are you feeling, man? You excited? You nervous?
I'm feeling great. A little less nervous, more excited. Super stoked to get to play for everyone here at Bloodstock. It's our first time here, and the festival looks incredible so far, so it's pretty cool to be part of it.
Yeah. Have you been hanging around all weekend or just today?
We just rolled in a few hours ago.
Oh, okay.
So unfortunately we didn't get to see the other bands, but get to see Arch Enemy and Megadeth today, so super stoked.
It's going to be a great night. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you're an American band, obviously.
Canadian.
Canadian band. Oh,
Yep.
okay. So what's the festival scene up like in Canada? Because we don't hear about Canadian festivals as much as we do about European ones.
To be honest, we've only done a few festivals ever as ONI, and they've been here in the UK.
Oh, okay.
So Canada doesn't have as much going on as far as the festival scene. There's some smaller festivals in like Niagara Falls and closer to Toronto, but nothing like this. So this is pretty awesome to be a part of.
And you're still hot off your debut album Iron Shore, came out on Metal Blade last year. And you did the tour last year of the UK with Devil You Know.
Yep.
Massive tour, really, really great shows all across the board there. And I got to speak with your drummer after one of your shows, and he mentioned something about, I think it was the production of the record having to be quite rushed, not coming out quite as you like it. Does that sound accurate at all?
To be honest, I was not a part of the Iron Shore writing process.
Right,
I
okay.
came in right after the rest of the band had written it.
Right,
But
okay.
From what I understand, it was written in a few months.
Okay.
And there was some ideas going around before they went into the studio to make it happen. But I know that this time around the process is completely different, and we're taking our time. We have another at least half a year before we're planning to hit the studio, and there's already many demos to be that we're listening to, and trying to just take our time with the process and make sure that everything that's done is like, we're more creatively able to just indulge in the process. Sometimes you got to sit on the same song for a month or two.
Oh yeah, you got to be patient with it.
Listen to it a million times, see what you want to change, see what you like, and so that's always that's good,
So the second album then could be even more proggy than the first one.
I think it'll be proggier. I think it'll be heavier. I think it'll be groovier. I think it'll be more aggressive. I think it's gonna have a lot more of what made up Iron Shore, but a lot more of also experiences that we've had. This is our first year touring as extensively as we had. We just got off tour with Gojira in California. We did a few dates in Scandinavia with them, and so even just being on, seeing them every night is a totally mind-blowing learning experience for everybody. And that's got to trickle in a little bit to the way that you approach writing music, because you're up there playing it every single night, and when you're doing that, now there's two sides to it. It's making music for the beauty of the recording and that, but also you're on stage trying to make people move every night, and so that's a little bit of a different angle. And I think the Iron Shore process didn't have a lot of the live experience under the belt, so it's definitely going to be a little different, but also I feel like every band's got to evolve a little bit. It's
Absolutely,
hard to just write the same album or something very similar. So we're all growing. We've all been listening to tons of new music and have a lot of new experiences, so it's going to be awesome.
And the reviews for Iron Shore when it came out were actually really, really positive. So has the band, were there any negative reviews? Did the band learn anything from responses, either from fans or critics?
I feel like there's always going to be people that say like, oh, these guys, like, they wank a little bit too much here, or this sounds too much like this, or like, there's always haters, there's always naysayers.
Yeah, of course.
And at the end of the day, we're making music that we really love to do and play. I've been friends with a lot of these guys even prior to ONI for years and years. Half of us went to school together in Canada in college, and so there's a different level of just kind of understanding of how the whole band should be and how we want to write music and everything. So yeah, see what happens.
And one of the standout elements of ONI's music is Johnny and his amazing work on the Xylo synth. Can you tell us anything about how that got integrated into the sound, or was that a little bit before your time in the band?
No, me, John, and Joe all did a percussion degree together back in Canada. And we all played drums, we all learned to play xylophone, and it was just kind of like, you know, taking it the next step from going out of school being like, now what, you know? And so there was an electric xylophone, and he bought one, you know, and started playing it, started shredding some Yngwie, some Petrucci solos, just kind of like, he's always been a lead guitarist, I think, like in his mind, but he's always been a percussionist and like physically, and so he kind of just merged the two, and then we came together and started writing some music, and it was cool because it was something new and different, and yeah, it all kind of naturally came together.
So when you were first, before anyone knew who you were, and you were taken to the stage with Johnny and his xylo synth, what reactions were you getting from the crowd? Were there just looks of like shock in the audience? So?
For the most part, yeah, we would get a lot of people just staring, mostly because they couldn't, I don't know, like even for us, sometimes I look over and I'm like, holy shit, what's going on over there? Like, looks like insanity, you know? So like, I feel like there's definitely a lot of shock, a lot of people just staring, trying to figure out what's going on, first of all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And have you, because obviously you don't, it's a big part of the band, the xylo synth, but at the same time you don't want it like sealing the show, you don't want it to be the only thing that people come for. So have you taken steps to stop that from becoming like a gimmick or a novelty in the band?
I think a lot of the way that we write music, even how Iron Shore was written and a lot of the new stuff, is we play a lot of stuff in unison.
Right, okay.
And so a lot of times the xylophone doesn't necessarily stick out because we're all playing the same lines. You know, here and there I'll have like a lead part and it'll stick out and do something different, or like you know, the music will drop down and you can clearly see that he's playing the sounds that are coming out of the speakers. But we try not to have it stand out too much, but at the same time have it buried too much. We're always looking for that fine line of how to make it appropriate, I guess.
One last question before we wrap this up. Obviously you guys have an amazing set at Bloodstock going on later on today. But after that, live-wise, what's next? What's next for ONI? What's in the near future?
We are doing Knotfest in San Bernardino.
Oh, wow.
Beginning of November. So that's going to be totally insane.
That's going to be brilliant, yeah.
Yep. And I think that's all we have planned at the moment. We're taking a little bit of time off to write, hang out. We've been on tour for more than half the year, and it's it can be sometimes mentally draining just being away from home so much. So, you know, chilling and writing and just kind of hanging out. I think that's going to be the plan for the next few months, and then next year, at some point, we'll be booking studio time and making some new tunes. So.
Excellent stuff. And the next album's going to be on Metal Blade again, I take it?
Yep.
Excellent stuff. All right, I'm going to end it there, man. Thank you so much for your time today. Everyone go and pick up Iron Shore. It's a fantastic record. Listen to this man shred his guts out.
Right on.
Thank you.
Brent.
Cheers.